I do a lot of thinking and a lot of contemplation, a lot of pondering, probably more than most people could even handle, I guess, in a day. And the reason I say that is because my wife, like, she kind of like jokes with me that my favorite hobby, my favorite activity is thinking. I'm not Einstein or anything like that. I don't claim to be like at that level, but I sit on my couch uh with myself with no distractions for hours at a time and just kind of ponder life and unpack ideas and unpack concepts and I you can call it doing spiritual work, mindset and heart set work, breaking through you know stories in my mind and beliefs that I hold, and just really questioning them and looking at them from different angles and different perspectives. And I think this is the work. And if you're familiar with human design at all, and I love human design and I love the gene keys, I love the soul sciences. But if you're familiar with human design, I have a channel that's called the channel 6124, and it's the design of a thinker, the channel of a thinker. It's like thinking is my jam. And I know that sounds probably ludicrous to some people, that everybody's thinking, but that is like my hobby, is just to think. And anyway, that's a lot about me and the workings of my boring, my non you or inactive life. But and if you haven't really dove into human design, we explore human design in my mastermind and soul sciences in my mastermind. If you haven't, then you don't know the vehicle that you're working with. Human design helps you understand the vehicle that you are working with, and gene keys, the gene keys helps you understand where that vehicle is going in this lifetime. So anyway, wonderful stuff. But but listen, when I just ponder, when I just contemplate, when I just sit in my thoughts and understand life and analyze my beliefs, sometimes there's some very, very powerful realizations. And recently I had one that it's again not new. It's just I've reached a new level of understanding with this belief. And I would encourage you, the more you think about something, the more you understand it. The more you contemplate a single thing, the more you'll understand it, because you'll start taking off layers of things that aren't true or things that are just in the way, and you'll reveal something beautiful that's at the seed and at the core of this thing that just makes a lot of sense. And guys, this is called mindset work. So when you really just understand what you're thinking, you think about what you're thinking. Now, here's the new awareness that I have. Your unconscious mind and your body is actively working against your progress. Your unconscious mind and your body are both working in tandem against, to fight, in conflict of progress that you want to make in your life. Now, I know this might sound like crazy and it might sound ludicrous. You might be thinking right now that no, my mind always wants to grow. Your conscious mind wants to grow. But I would challenge you to understand that your unconscious mind wants to keep you here, wants to keep you stuck, wants to keep you in a familiar place. Because listen, here's in reality, we are this body and mind that we have, they are the animal essence of who we are. Now I'm about to get really, really woo. Okay. You have a body, you have a mind, but you are the soul. You are the spirit. You are not the body perishes. You are not the mind ceases, but you are the soul. You are the spirit. You are the awareness in the meat suit looking out the eyes that are in the meat suit. You are the awareness of the sounds that you hear. You are the awareness of the feelings. You are the awareness of the thoughts. You are the awareness of temperature. You are the awareness of things. You are aware of these things. You are not these things. You are not the thoughts. You are the awareness of the thoughts. You are not the sounds. You are the awareness of the sounds. You are not the beliefs. You are the awareness of the beliefs. Really get clear with that. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. You are spirit living in the material world, like the police said. That is literally what that song is about. You are spirit living in the material world. Now, here's why this matters. Your unconscious mind and your body are fighting to keep you stuck because that's the animalistic nature of you. That is your primitive nature. And the animalistic nature in you knows that it can survive exactly as things are right now. And your unconscious mind and your body are fighting like crazy amounts to keep you stuck, to keep you right here. Now, what you believe, what you think, what you feel, how you choose, how you behave, these are your personality. These comprise what you call your personality. What you think, believe, choose, how you identify yourself, these are your personality. And your subconscious mind, the unconscious part of you, uses that, and it understands how to use exactly who you are right now to survive exactly as things are right now. So your unconscious mind and your body fights to keep everything exactly the way it is because it knows it can predict that you will be safe and you will survive because everything is familiar. There's a level of certainty in your unconscious mind and in your body that you can sustain life exactly as you are. But, in a minute, it might not know that. But it's always fighting to try to keep everything the same so that it can predict survival. Have you ever noticed that some people can work really, really, really hard and work a lot and never make like financial margin, never make considerable financial margin? Have you ever noticed that some people can work very little and make a lot of financial margin? Have you ever noticed that some people have a really easy time being successful and some people have a really difficult time being successful? This all comes back to how you are wired, the unconscious part of you. The unconscious part of you is simply grasping for survival and your body. Now, if the story and the belief inside of you is that making money is hard, making money is bad, the rich people are bad, accumulating wealth is greedy, if these stories are in your unconscious mind is going to fight really, really hard to not have money, to keep you from having money. If the stories in your unconscious mind are those that, I guess, encourage struggle and invite stress and create conflict, if the stories in your unconscious mind support hardship, then you are going to continue to create more hardship in your life. Your unconscious mind, and body is fighting to keep you exactly as you are. I hope this is sinking in. And who you are the beliefs that you hold. Who you are, and I'm air quoting right now, who you are the beliefs that you hold. Who you are the thoughts that you think. Who you are the emotions that you have. Who you are is the amount that you believe that you can create wealth and success. If you believe at a core level that you will cap out at $100,000 of net worth, if that's your belief, then you will. If your core belief is that $1 million business is not available to you, then your body and mind will it will set out to prove that true because it feels safe in that. If your unconscious mind believes that relationships, that marriage must be hard, your unconscious mind will help you and cause you and convince you to make your marriage hard because it knows how to survive there. That belief can be supported by the outer experience, the environment. Your unconscious mind and your body will do whatever it takes to make the stories that are inside of your mind and the emotional patterns inside of your body to keep you in those states because that's where it knows how to best keep you alive and survive. If the stories in your unconscious mind is that you need chemicals in order to be okay, your unconscious mind will help you keep making choices to invite and bring chemicals into your body so that you can be okay. Your unconscious mind is actively working to protect and to support and to serve the beliefs that are in your subconscious / unconscious mind so that your body, as it's built, can feel safe. And sometimes your body feels safe in lots of stress and lots of struggle and lots of hardship and lots of drama and lots of conflict and lots of chaos. And when your body only knows how to operate in those places, your unconscious mind and your body will do whatever it takes to stay there and remain there. When our family was just starting to get out of the drama of just this home of ours being an absolute freaking like combat zone, my wife and I declared peace. And when we stopped fighting and we stopped having lots of drama and conflict in our house, our kids, like we watched them as they tried to incite fights. They tried to get fights going. They tried to create conflict in this family because literally their little minds and their little bodies didn't know how to operate in peace. And this is why to some, I was just talking to a friend of mine this week. He said, you know what, when he's reached a certain level of wealth and success, and he says it's kind of boring. And I said, well, here's what I believe might be going on. When you're used to struggling and there's so much drama and there's so much conflict and there's so much chaos and there's so much freaking stress in your life, when you achieve peace is going to feel boring because your body is wired and addicted to stress and struggle and pain. And when there's the absence of those things that your body's used to, it's going to feel like something's wrong. Now, if your mind is wired for poverty, if your mind is wired to be broke, if your mind is wired to just stress and struggle, if your mind is wired for conflict and drama, if your mind is wired, if your body is used to these things, if your unconscious mind and your body are fighting for struggle and stress and pain, it's going to be a challenge to not have those in your life because your body and your mind do not feel safe in the absence of those things. And that's what we call addiction. Now, there's a way out. There is a way out. And I'm going to share this way out with you. But 9 out of 10 of you listening to this podcast are not going to do this. I hope you're the exception. I want you to be the exception. I'd like to think that my listeners on this podcast are a little brighter than the average like human being. And that's why you're listening. That's why you're tuning in. I truly believe that my listeners are a step ahead and a step above the average human being. And that's why you listen and engage. And that's why we share life together, because we're not average. We're not mediocre. But my experience is 9 out of 10 people will not do this. And it's available on YouTube, and I'll put a link to the offer that I have in the show notes. But I have and I've created a meditation called Installing Future You. Now, what this meditation is about is it whatever you're trying to create in the world. Let's say you're trying to create more wealth. Let's say you're trying to go from, you're building a business and you're looking to hit your first two commas. Okay. You want $1 million business. Let's say you're just starting out in business and you're trying to hit 2 commas. Okay. When you're starting out, your body and your mind will not feel safe with 2 commas with $1 million business. Now, I know this sounds delusional. I know it sounds weird, but since it's different and since it's not familiar and since it's the body and the mind don't know if it can operate that in that world. Your body and mind aren't wired to operate because it's never experienced before. Your body and mind, when you start to think of $1 million, there's probably a $1 million business. There's probably going to be a lot of worry, a lot of doubt, a lot of fear. It might create anxiety. There's going to be some psychological distance to that goal. That psychological distance shows up as mental and emotional resistance. Maybe you won't believe that you can have it. Maybe you believe that it's not available to you, only available to other people. Maybe suddenly fear of judgment will kick in. Maybe suddenly you'll start to doubt yourself and think you're going to fail along the process. And all of this is the internal noise and internal conflict that's trying to keep you exactly where you are. That's what worry, fear, and doubt are. It's showing you the emotional resistance to change. As long as you stay the exact same, your body will have no negative response. It just tries to keep you here. But as soon as you start dreaming a bigger dream, as soon as you start getting the imagination on something bigger in your life, your mind goes and your body go into hyperdrive. Your unconscious mind and your body go into hyperdrive to try to get you to give up that goal and stay where you are. That's why self-sabotage is a thing. If you've ever seen an athlete go from the inner city and broke to multimillionaire to broke again, that's self-sabotage. That person's unconscious mind and body were not wired for wealth. That's why you could take somebody who's like poor, they win the Powerball, and suddenly their whole life goes upside down. It's because they were wired for poverty. They weren't wired for wealth. They hadn't done the work to wire themselves for wealth. They were still wired for poverty. So they had to get rid of all the wealth so that their unconscious mind and their body could feel safe. Self-sabotage. And if you don't understand that your unconscious and your body is trying to keep you here and don't do the work to move the needle and to recalibrate your mind and body, then if you have it, you're going to lose it, or you're not going to have it at all. So installing future you, what it does is you got to get clear about what you actually want in this world. If you want $1 million business, then get clear that's what you want. Rich people send very clear messages, very clear signals to the universe that they want to be rich. But poor people send like mixed messages. T. Harv Eker, my man T. Harv Eker, that's one of his primary elements of wisdom that he shares, is that rich people are very clear that they want to be rich, and poor people send mixed signals. 1 second, I want to be rich, but I want to be rich, but I want to be rich, but they're like mixed signals. And with a rich people, with a really rich person, there is no but. There's no disclaimer. There's no excuse. There's no withholding. They just open themselves and they invite it in and they allow it. But if your unconscious mind doesn't feel safe in that new level of prosperity, if your body isn't wired to feel safe in that new level of prosperity, you're going to find yourself giving it away. And this is self-sabotage. Or your body and your mind are not going to create it. Maybe you won't pick up the phone. Maybe you won't do the work in your business. Maybe you won't call the leads. Maybe you'll find distraction. Maybe you'll do whatever it takes to not do the things that's going to move the needle, because your unconscious mind and your body are working to keep you exactly where you are. And that internal conflict that you feel, the worry, the fear, the doubt, the pessimism, all of that is just your inner dialogue, the unconscious mind showing you and trying to show you why you need to stay exactly where you are. And that's why anxiety kicks in. And that's why we procrastinate. It's our unconscious mind say, no, stay here. But in installing future you in that meditation, I get you into the vision of the future that you're trying to create. And I get you to see it more clearly, encourage you to see it more clearly, invite you to see it more clearly. And then I invite you to feel that new future now. In installing future you, I get you into the mental realm of seeing that future so that your body can start to get, I guess, to feel safe in it. Your mind can get comfortable seeing it because your unconscious mind and your body don't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you sit in the image of that new future, your unconscious mind will begin to feel safe and to experience that new world through safety, the lens of safety. And your mind will literally begin to rewire itself. When you feel the new prosperity that you're trying to create, when you feel the freedom, when you feel the wealth, when you feel the success, when you feel the emotions of those things in your body will begin to accept them and start to feel safe in them. And when your mind gets fully relaxed into that new future and your body fully embraces that new future, then you won't delay doing the work to create it. And it'll show up faster than you could ever imagine that it would. But if your mind is not wired to feel safe or to be safe in that circumstance, and your body is not capable of feeling safe in that new circumstance, both of these, because they're unfamiliar, if your body deems these as a threat, if your mind deems these as a threat, you will not have them in your life. You cannot have them. But when your mind can relax into them, when your body can feel them and stay in them without pushing them away, then it's not an if you're going to have them, it's a when you're going to have them. But this is a process of moving your unconscious mind and body from viewing new levels of circumstances as threats to viewing them as safe and secure and that you're capable and that you can and that it's available to you. But as long as your unconscious mind and body are viewing these things as unfamiliar and unsafe, you will not have them. Guys, I hope this is super helpful. This is mindset work. This is heart set work. This is what we're here to do. Your mind and body, your unconscious mind and body are wired for exactly what you have right now. They are not capable of creating new. So you must rewire your unconscious mind and you must rewire your body and have these things become capable of sitting in this new future and feeling this new future before it happens. You can go to YouTube and look up Installing Future You and my name, Mike Kitco, or in the show notes, I'm going to put the link to my offer for my meditations. Now, right now, there's 4 at production time. There's 4 meditations in that package, and I offer it for $34.97, I believe. But there's 4 meditations in that package, and when I create a new meditation, I just add it. So it's a one-time fee of $34.97, and after that, I'll just keep adding new meditations to it, and you'll always have it at that price. Go to YouTube and look up Installing Future You, or go and buy that my meditation package. Go grab Installing Future You. Get in there, do that work, and get your mind and your body used to this new future you're going to create, that you're looking to create, and watch how quickly it begins to reform and reshape, and you get to feel more comfortable and relaxed into that new future. Listen, you don't need to struggle and stress and hustle to new outcomes. That's for people that are that are literally at war with their subconscious mind. I'm helping you utilize like a different technique, a different tactic where we massage our way into new circumstances. We don't fight our way into new circumstances. Whatever it takes, go to YouTube, grab Installing Future You, go to the website through the link that I put in the show notes, grab the meditations and get to work. When you retune your unconscious mind and your body, you'll see that you were always capable of everything that you wanted to create. You were just at odds with the stories that were running through your mind. When you reshape those stories, you will reshape your life.